Probably I'm getting someone's like neutering me, right? Not neutering me. That is neutering me. It's like neutering my intelligence. Somebody's like trying to euthanize me. My fingers keeping track of one of y'all. They like to like every time I say something that proves them wrong, I scratch the back of my head, and it's supposed to like represent me being lobotomized. Yeah, because they don't want to be smart. So here's what's going on. I didn't write it well in this paper, but I can explain it well. So in most given situations, us as ethical concepts, we're exploring the idea of good and bad. We're exploring the consequences of what we do and how that determines what is good and bad in an undefined existence. Now, with that being said, the more sorry. The fuck you. I'm not sorry for any of that shit. You're a fucking bitch. Here's what happens. So there are guys that see that whenever they do something, a consequence is provided, and as a result, they think that it is wrong to do. And so they are not willing to do certain things, and that keeps their entire structure of character within their willingness to do things. But then there are other guys that are willing to investigate everything and do everything, yada, yada, yada. And so as a result, they are capable of doing more and experiencing more because they're not inside of this little bubble. They're not inside of this little confinement. And so this is terrifying. I get that this is absolutely terrifying. So there's two things happening. One, existence is good. In order for it to exist, following all the ethical rules, the fact that there are good and bad consequences for what you do means that effort, the fact that there is a bad consequence for bad things and a good consequence for good things, means that the universe inherently rewards being good and that it cares enough, existence cares enough to be ethical. Therefore, existence has the effort to be good, therefore it is good. That being said, there are guys that have interpreted that argument in several ways. One of the ways they've interpreted is that means everything I want to do is good and I just don't know how to say it. And then there's existence is good, but there's still rules that you need to follow. I'm not writing that down. I was fucking playing, so I'm already saying it. So here's what happens. There are people who think that all the things that we think are taboo, wrong, and fucking disgusting, that they're actually okay to do so long as they're not done within the purview of people who think that it is wrong. Because their theory is that the only reason that they have consequences for doing the things they want is because people that think that what they're doing is bad know it. And so they try to maintain a form of secrecy. Now, this is where shit gets fucking terrifying. Let me get another piece of paper real quick. This is technically the other thing that's happening. Now, here's what I think is going on. I think that if you respect Nasimev, then you can see that every single person is kind of like the beginning of existence, trying to figure out what's right and what's wrong so that it can exist at full mass without ever crashing ever again. And that, in order for the existence to be good, it has to treat everybody good. And that's what these guys forget. And so that is the only rule, because we are existing. We exist enough to animate a physical object, to control it, to manipulate it. Look at my hand. Look at what I'm doing to it, okay? So that means that we are, as a fact, existence itself. I probably am, because I fully accept that I genuinely fucking hate this environment. So what that means is existence can't just be good that we know it's good. It's got to be good to everyone. Now, obviously, there are some exceptions here. If people are not intending to try to be good, then you don't necessarily have to include them into the bunch, because they can't even treat existence the way that they need to treat it on their own level to have a good relationship with it on their own. And so you can't treat them like shit, but you can just pretty much dismiss them and throw them aside because they're not trying anymore. Now, what's going on is there are people. We're all people here. Now let's say different groups of people, right? Whether it be race, religion, environment, location, all that stuff, right? The more that this person is willing to do and take the risk, the things that this person is not willing to do, the greater their reach of influence and occurrence is. So this guy does something, deals with the consequences, comes back, learns what the consequences are, figures out a pattern for beating it. This guy never tries to do it because he thinks that it's wrong and there's no way of getting around it. Now, what that means is that in an enclosed environment, this guy now knows how to manipulate around this guy because this guy doesn't even believe it's possible to fucking do that. He doesn't believe it's possible to do this and get away with it. He doesn't believe it's possible, so he doesn't even understand that he's being raced around as a result. Oh, that's what you guys did. Okay, I mean, that's cool. That's kind of cool. So this is a genuine strategy in war. Now, even though everything that you know is wrong, you shouldn't do, in a fucking war, you need to be able to do what's wrong and get away with it, and more of that than the other side can. Because if the other side can do more wrong than you and survive, then they inherently win the war. I mean, no, that goes the other way. They inherently win the war. So you have to do more wrong than them and survive, and that gives you more of an ability to act around them because of their moral restrictions. They're not willing to do as much, therefore, you can get around them and do more things and get to the girl, get to the wife, do the fucking cuck races, all that shit. I'm killing people. I don't fucking care. I warned. I fucking tried my hardest. Oh, my water's boiling. Hold on. Oh. Okay. So, here's the issue. I released this video. People say, oh my God, nobody knows who you are. We're not watching you. I'm literally fucking breaking the universe with what I say right now. You fucking know who I am. Stop fucking lying, okay? So, these guys are all like, oh my God, you're right. That's what this is. We gotta be willing to do more wrong than they do. Oh my God, that means somehow it's not wrong. And so what happens is that both sides are now starting to race to get away with it. Now you got your guys that don't think age exists and therefore don't believe pedophilia is a real thing. Now you got your guys that are gonna start fucking racing on pedophilia. That's what you niggas are gonna start. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. Because you have to respect, you have to do that. You have to do that the right way. You have to do that the right way. Here's the way you do that. These guys are fucking up because they don't believe age exists. But here's what it is. Age is some sort of manifestation of responsibility of ethics. It is it's a manifestation of ethical responsibility. That's what age is. And if you watch age closely, it also represents a form of influence on the environment. The younger you are, the less influence you have. This is likely because at a control complex where people wanted to have control over the environment but kept interfering with each other as a result, they decided to come up with basic rules. If I'm here longer than you, then I should have more say. Now that, in a basic sense, is age. Now for that reason, children are disoriented and they have less say and are less ethical. Now age has representations here that you need to fucking respect. That's all I'm saying. You need to respect that. Okay, it's not your, don't play with this. Do not play with this, okay? Cause here I get to kill people and I get to fucking do it without crying. Like I get to fucking do it. I mean that shit. I really mean it. So, no, fuck you. No, there's no misinterpreting me here. There's no fucking G-cabbing me, nigga. I mean that shit. Y'all don't do this. Don't do this. You listen to me at this point. I kill people and I don't even feel fucking bad about it. Don't fucking do this, okay? Alright. So, now you've got both sides who are judging the other side for everything they do. This guy is saying, oh my God, you did this? You guys are horrible people. And this side is saying, you did this? You guys are horrible people. But both sides are both trying to get away with doing as much as they can because they know that for some reason, the more wrong that they can do without getting in trouble, the more that they can do as a result. And they can race around and have, in a fourth dimensional sense, where the walls are, there's space within the walls that can open up with the fourth dimension. These guys keep doing wrong and getting away with it. They almost open up to be able to do and see things in a new fourth dimensional way as a result, because moral limit, you can't go outside of this bubble. These guys have gone outside of that bubble and now see things that you aren't willing to see because you're afraid that even thinking these things is wrong. You're afraid that thinking these things is wrong. Now, in a sense they are, but that's something that I need to kind of break down into an even more skilled thing. But I'm fucking serious. Don't fucking do pedophilia. I get what all of you are thinking. But this shit is real. Age is representing some form of ethical responsibility, logic, and authority. And if you fuck that up, that's a mess. That's blood. That's I'm telling you, that's blood, that's flesh. There's no getting around that. Those are the consequences. Even if they don't happen right away. That's what this is. This is blood and fucking flesh. Don't do it. I know that you think that you're in the moral bubble. You don't see it. You just don't see it. I'm not even kidding. I'm not fucking with you. I have this. You want to do your experiments with age? Do it with people above 18. That's all you got to do. You want to do your fucking experiments with age? Just do it then. Just do it like that. Just do it like that. Get all these people, put them in a room, and fucking see if people can actually figure out how old somebody is based on this and that. And then also start doing the fucking vacuums where age never existed, but only do it with people above 18, okay? Because I'm telling you that these kids lack ethical responsibility, which means that at that point we have to fucking be patient and all this shit with them. So that means that these kids at that point have unrestricted choice, because they're investigating and need to figure out what right and wrong is. So that means that you're violating an essence of choice if you do that, by taking advantage of them and convincing them that it's okay. You're violating a real form of choice, and that fucking kills everybody. That shit starts wars. You Christians are fucking talking about Armageddon. Bitch ass nigga, that's Armageddon right there. And I fucking kill people because I don't care. I don't fucking care, bro. Oh my God.